Have you ever purchased a phone off of Craigslist or eBay only to discover it was in fact a fake? Well, we're here to help you figure out exactly whether the phone that you've purchased is the real deal or totally and completely bogus. It's time for Unboxed Daily. Welcome to Unboxed Daily. I'm your host, Jason. And yes, it's true. Every now and again, you buy a phone that's off market. Maybe you got it from a friend of a friend of a friend, and then you take it home and you realize it is absolutely not at all what you thought you were getting. Well, we're here to give you some tips and tricks to ensure that what you're getting is exactly what you're looking for. If you like what you see and you want to check out more, head on over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. And if you really love us, hit that notification bell as well. It is the worst feeling in the world when you get home and realize that you bought a phone off market, it was super cheap, because in fact it's actually super cheap. I know, right? I mean, that should seem obvious, but it is what it is, and that's okay. So the first thing that we recommend that you check is the screen. Is it up to snuff? Does it actually give you exactly what you're expecting? Here to show us exactly what we mean in a side-by-side comparison is Keaton from TechSmart, who's examining the S9 Plus against a knockoff.
So the big thing on the S9 is the screen. You want your screen to look good, and when you're doing a Craigslist deal, it's pretty easy to tell if a phone's real or if it's not just by looking at it. Like, it's not super hard. Common sense definitely comes into play. So on the real S9, you can just tell the differences immediately between the fake, the real, the brightness. These are at full brightness. And a big thing on the S9 Plus is the screen. Just look at how beautiful it is. 6.2 inches, quad super AMOLED. I wish it was OLED. That would be the moves.
Now, did you see how the screen on the right was brighter, the colors were better? The screen on the left, it didn't even match up in terms of the size that you would expect. That's a clear indication that the phone on the left is absolutely an off-brand knockoff that nobody's gonna want. So another test that you can run, if you're not 100% certain whether the phone in your hand is good or not, you can check out the camera, because after all, on a top-of-the-line phone like the S9 Plus or the iPhone 10, the camera should be absolutely stellar. Here to show what we mean is Alex from Red Skull, who took another S9 Plus and took that camera for a bit of a spin.
Moving on to the camera app. So the camera app on the fake device doesn't look anywhere close to the camera app that you'd get on the original S9 Plus. So we don't have the 2x optical zoom, we don't have the portrait mode, and so on. And this would be a good thing to check if you're buying a used Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Surprisingly enough, the pictures that I took with this phone with plenty of light weren't horrible. I mean, they weren't that great either, but they were better than I was expecting.
Okay, to be fair, the camera isn't that terrible, the color range isn't all that bad, and the lighting seems to, it seems to be okay. But it's not top of the line. It's not from $1,000 top of the line Apple or Samsung phone. So granted, even if it looks okay, it's not as good as it should be. Finally, the other obvious thing that you can check is to actually click on the apps pre-installed on the phone. If it's a knockoff, it's more likely than not going to have a bunch of off-market stuff that looks like it should be something you would expect. For example, if you're getting a knockoff iPhone and you start to click on the App Store and it takes you somewhere completely unexpected. Here to show what we mean is Everything Apple Pro, who's demonstrating an iPhone 10 knockoff that's actually running a version of Android.
You can't really remove these buttons, and it stretches the dock into this monstrosity. You have to swipe up on it in order to get into the control center, and yeah, I guess it does work. And yeah, the brightness can get adjusted here, the volume, and no 3D touch to open up any of those, but it's kind of interesting. I need to make it look a little bit more accurate. I can't seem to get into the cover sheet notification center. Doesn't work for me.
Okay, on this phone in particular, the first sign that you're dealing with a knockoff would absolutely be that you've got an iPhone 10 with a home button. Nonetheless, you can see from the apps that it's clearly not iOS in any way, shape, or form. Not only does it not look right on the screen, but it doesn't interact the way that you would expect it to. Now, here to sum up all three of our rules about screen, apps, and camera is Lou from Unboxed Therapy, who some time ago compared an iPhone 6s against a knockoff and came up with these rules in the first place.
Here are my rules. Real versus fake. The screen should be bright and vibrant. This one's a little bit washed out. Check the camera. The quality should be obvious. Check the App Store. The fake one will take you to Google Play. And of course, the iTunes Store, which takes you to Spotify. Don't be fooled by that either. But otherwise, they might have you fooled.
Don't move yet, Dan! Stand up! Captain, we've got them!
Spectacular stunt, my friends. but all for naught. Turn around, please. Ah, what a pity. What a pity. So, Princess, you thought you could outwit the imperious forces? You idiots! These are not them. You've captured their stunt doubles!
And that's it for our look on the rules of how to identify fakes or knockoffs. Hope you enjoyed. If you like what you see and you want to check out more, head on over to unboxed.tv or look us up on the iOS store. In the meantime, I'll be back here soon with more great videos from your favorite product reviewers and unboxers. I'm your host, Jason. Have a great day.